As we end another year and start looking forward to the next one, I like to do sort of a yearly review on the things I've done and the things I've made, and how things turned out this year as a whole. Now, while this year was more, I'll say sporadic in terms of uploads for me, I felt that a lot of the content I put out was some of the best I've ever made. There are some exceptions to that, but we'll get to those when we come to it. Trust me. Now, I know I'm cutting this a little close to the end of the year, but
No, 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 no.
oh shit. Yeah, let's get this thing going, shall we? Now, while technically I started this run in late 2023, nearly all of this run took place this year. So that's how I'm categorizing this. Problem? Now, coming off the heels of Dark Souls 3, the next logical step was to play Elden Ring, right? Well, technically that would have been Bloodborne and then Sekiro, but Bloodborne's not on PC, and I don't have a PS3, and give me Bloodborne on PC, Miyazaki, please! I beg!
Let me in. Let me in.
Elden Ring is Miyazaki's magnum opus, his best work thus far, and it definitely shows, from the boss designs to the variety of weapons and much more. Now, while my casual playthrough was littered with mistakes, I'll say, and easy modes, I still felt it was one of the best I've ever done, only outclassed by something else we'll get to later this year. As I grow and improve as a Souls-like fan and familiarize myself with more of the content that they provide in terms of replayability and content as a whole, Elden Ring itself provides some unique qualities, and none are more important than replayability. There's just so much variety in this game in terms of weapons, in terms of challenges you can do, in terms of just crazy runs you can do, especially with the DLC that came out earlier this year. We'll get to that, trust me. As for now, Lies of P. Oh no, he's hot. For Lies of P, I firmly believe this was the best playthrough I have ever done, and it's not even remotely close. While I do still think that the game could have been improved, the game is a hallway simulator. Fix it, please, I beg! The uniqueness and weapon combinations that are available from the start of the game are such a fantastic twist on the genre, and I'm really hoping that actual FromSoft games add that in later on down the line. Even though it's a balance thing and blah blah blah. For me, most of the appeal to Lies of P is the atmosphere. The sort of steampunk type vibes that get from the world building is incredible. And it's such an interesting take on the genre. And while the ending of the game left, for me, a lot to be desired, I do understand it as basically setting up the DLC and upcoming sequels. Wizard of Oz, Souls-like. Oh my god, gimme. I need it. Inject it into my veins. Now, after Lies of P, well, technically it was before Lies of P, but I'm lumping them all here. I wanted to branch out on other types of content this year. So, starting with dedicated challenge runs. I say challenge runs, but dedicated weapon type runs in Elden Ring. I did 3 of those in total. Let's start with the most broken of all, the Starfist run. I had heard rumblings throughout the community that Starfists were pretty good. I had no idea what to expect when I was doing what would be the one of the most broken weapons in the entire fucking game. There are a couple caveats to my run. I didn't use them to their fullest potential. I didn't use a charged R2 because I didn't really know how. Doing a run on a keyboard is abysmal. Don't do it. And get a controller, please. Because of that, because I didn't use charged R2s at all, the weapon did not do as good of a job as it could have. Meaning, it's even more broken than I initially thought. I didn't do Millennia. Again, not doing as much as it should have. Oops. I'm really happy with how that Starfist video turned out. It gave me the motivation to continue producing content this year. After my excursion with Lies of P and the Starfist run, the Elden Ring DLC came out, and with that naturally came more weapons and weapon types and mechanics and etc etc etc. One of which that really caught my eye during my initial playthrough was the Light Greatsword, Milady. Now, Milady was, for all intents and purposes, a trial run. I didn't really understand the mechanics of the DLC, didn't understand the quest lines, NPC triggers, and more. I'm saying this because while I am fairly happy with the run as a whole, the only pain point that I encountered was the Letta fight. And that was only because I didn't do it properly, meaning I tried to rush through the DLC, and as such, I tried to do it solo, and I encountered all five of them. If I had known that, the run itself probably would have gone a lot smoother because one, I didn't tell Moore how to go to Sudoku. Two, I didn't ignore Letta enough. Like I just continued talking to her, so she was mad at me. Three, I didn't summon Hornsent in the Mesmer fight, so he was there at the end. And then by elimination, that leaves it to be all five of them in the fight. And because it feels like it's sort of timed, the damage of Milady just didn't hold up to the rest of the run. I eventually did have to summon, even though I feel a little dirty about it. And I feel like it's sort of designed around you summoning the NPCs. But this entire run was essentially a knowledge check, and I feel it. I think we'd call that a skill issue in the industry. After Milady, another weapon that really caught my eye during my initial playthrough of the DLC was the Meteoric Ore Greatsword. A greatsword. Shocking. I know, right? But the twist is, this greatsword has a gap-closing Ash of War. I cannot state how much I love this weapon so much. The Ash, the moveset, simply the fact that it didn't hit like a wet fucking noodle on enemy poison damage made this run so much more enjoyable after the Milady run that I did. It was night and day, not even close. Now, my first priority in this run, fix the Letta fight. I don't want to get stuck doing another 5v1. Now, I did that, of course, though Hornsent wasn't exactly exempt from the fight. It wasn't too bad overall. My damage was high enough that it didn't really matter too much. The poison damage was what really made the difference, because Milady, it didn't stagger them, or it didn't, like, knock them away. High poison damage of the greatswords, yeah, it sort of like micro staggered them to where like stop their animations. That's what I was looking for in the Milady run, but it just didn't happen. However, both of these runs, the Milady run and the Greatsword run, were done before the Radon nerfs. So if they were done now, they'd almost certainly be better. Well, obviously, whether it due to information or skill or anything else. You know, I ask this question every year. What next? Well, honestly, I'm not sure. My creative spark seems to be guiding me to other avenues. I've been playing lots of Marvel Rivals lately, but I can't exactly start doing that type of content without destroying basically my channel, the algorithm, etc. And Souls type content seems to be on a bit of a downturn right now, engagement wise. So I'm sort of at an impasse. Though maybe with Night Rain coming out, that'll improve. Who knows? As always, thank you for the support, and I'll see you soon.